Simulated racing can be awesome, but can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos and danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. Sure, they've got the most accurate tracks and realistic cars out there, but that's just the start. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight, and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all are kept in the pits. Not to mention that with over 45,000 active members already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in on the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
Viewers, round 7 action here, the Demonov Innovations V8 Supercar Series here live from Oran Park. Fantastic track just outside of Sydney. An old track now is being closed up. They've actually got housing estates here now, so if you're going to be travelling through that part now, you'll be called Oran Park Town. Long history here of V8 Supercar racing dating right back to 1971, where Bob Jane and the Camaro had a race win here. With me in the commentary booth, I have Sammy Compton. Sammy, welcome to the broadcast. Should be an exciting race tonight.
Yeah, thanks Brenton. Hello to everyone, and thanks for joining us here at Oran Park. Yeah, I think it's going to be a cracker, and there's a few big names that have joined us for this race too, so it's certainly going to get interesting.
Yeah, see that Jared Filsaw and Richard Hampstead have joined us, and already they've put down a bit of a marker with qualifying early, so it's great to see those names here. Got a strong field, 24 cars. The weather is moderate, track temperature of 40 degrees, clear skies 25 degrees. Yeah, so should be fairly good times here, but yeah, the field very close, and looking forward to this one. We've got a hot lap demonstration this week brought to you by LIT Motorsports. Jeremiah Morton is going to do a lap for us, so sit back and enjoy.
Welcome aboard the Lit Motorsports Commodore. I'm Jeremiah Morton, and I'll be taking you on this week's hot lap of Oran Park Raceway for Week 7 of the iRacing V8 Official Online Series. Braking just before the green ends, hard on the brakes, being careful not to catch the grass, into second gear, slowly apply the throttle on exit, up into fourth, braking for the white strip, back down to second, stay as wide as possible, get back the car straight as soon as possible. Up into fourth, hard on the brakes, back down to second, wait for the car to settle, into third, up the hill, stay in third over the crest, easy on the throttle, into fourth, back down to third, half throttle, into fourth, be patient on the exit, hit the apex, nice and patient. Up into fifth to minimise wheel spin, and hard on the brakes, get the car stopped. Get straightened up so that you can apply the throttle, and then apply it. And across the line to complete a quick and very demanding lap of Oran Park Raceway. For all your sim racing needs, check out simulator.com.au. Also check out Big 4 Holiday Parks, and don't forget to like Lit Australia/New Zealand and Lit Motorsports on Facebook.
Thank you very much to Jeremiah Morton, sorry about the technical issue, Jeremiah Morton there, and the LIT Motorsports team, the team that's certainly progressing, and he's actually here, the car 21 today, so yeah, good job there. We've got 2 minutes 45 left of qualifying, and Jared Filsell racing for ANZ Motorsports is 105.076. It's a very good time that he's laid down early doors here, so strong performance there. Richard Hampstead racing for TTL 105.1, so we're just talking about the 3 100s off there. Ethan Griggault has just moved up into third in front of his teammate James McKnight. No, Ian Ford's actually just taken that time, so lots of changes here all of a sudden. Filsell, Hampstead, Griggault, who's our series leader, Ford, who's our second in the series, moved to fourth. And at the start of this conversation, we had James McKnight in the third. Well, now he's down to sixth. Aaron Hamilton in the Maverick Loring car has moved into fifth. McKnight sixth. Corey Preston found himself a bit of form of late seventh. Ben Smith's had no track time at all this week with the Spa 24-hour race and other commitments. In eighth, Sammy Sutton for Dayco Racing has got himself in ninth place, and rounding up the top 10 at the moment, Mick Cracknell for SDC Motorsports with a 105.795. So the top 11 cars, we've got Bo Cattell in 11th, are separated by less than 8/10 of a second. There's been another improvement there I saw. No, sorry, Dave Moore. No, Corey Preston's just had an improve of his time, but no improve in his position. So a really, really close qualifying session here. Jack Boyd, the last of our cars, in 24th, 2.2 seconds off that, but a good strong field again. Looking forward to what's going to be a great spot with a minute quarter to go. There's still some guys who are going to have plenty of time here to be on a fast lap. Richard Hampstead exits the last turn, the Recaro corner, turn 12 as we speak. Across the strike at a 105.047. A good enough improvement. That's the provisional poll at the moment. There's going to be some guys who have the chance to answer back. Ethan Griggault won't be one of those. His car's in the pits. He's done. Sammy Sutton is done. Ian Ford on a fast lap. And this guy, Ian's taken, round 7, he's taken 4 pole positions in the first 6 races here, but he needs to find 2/10 somewhere.
Yeah, I'm just... Jared must have set that time before we even got in the server, so it's good to see Richard with some pace right there, just pipping the pole. I'm not sure if Jared's going to hold up here, but I guess we'll find out in a second.
I think Richard's been given some motivation over the last weeks to do a good job here. I'm thinking there might have been some comments made at the last Premier Series that's got him a bit fired up, so if that's what it takes to get him out here, it's rather not that happen, but he's out here. It's great to see him out here, and it's great him being super competitive, and I think it's a track that he does enjoy a lot. Yeah, so the checkered flags come out, so Ian Ford just finishing up this lap here. It's been a fairly clean lap, 105.324, no improvement for him, so 4th place for Ian Ford. He'll be disappointed with that. Trying to see Aaron Hamilton has improved, but has an improved position, but a 282 for Aaron Hamilton, so a good time there. I'm not sure.
We do have fuel cell just coming over the Dunlop Bridge on a flyer, so we'll see if he can improve.
Yeah, well, the Simworks ANZ car here is on a quick lap. No, he's backed out of it. Might have just been held up by a car. We've got Corey Preston, who looks like he's on a quick lap. This guy's in 8th position. If he can find himself another 10th, he'll jump up a spot. So just as I said, exiting turn 12 here, hard on the gas here, short shift to third. 105.546 is that improvement, so puts himself in there 8th position, but just at 6/1000th off of James McKnight. Can't see any other cars. Benny Smith, just talked a bit too soon there, has improved himself, so has got himself into 6th place. So a great effort there by Ben Smith. So Leighton, I would imagine that there is our qualifying for round 7 here at Oran Park.
Yeah, great effort by everyone there. If you go right down to P15, there's less than a second covering the top 15 spots, so it's definitely going to be a cracker.
Yeah, the top 15 covered by 9/10 of a second, so you're spot on there. Gee, that's on a short track like this, that's really, really good racing. Sorry, good qualifying there, very competitive, and no doubt the race will be tight. So cars will be slowly rigging up here. They'll need probably 70-75 litres, I think, Sammy.
Yeah, that's correct. Somewhere between 70 and 75 with the warmer track temperature. I think they'll be able to get away with probably 71, 72 litres.
Well, lead us through the grid there, Sam. The pole position to Hampstead. I'll let you fill in the gaps.
Yeah, we got Richard Hampstead up there in first. We got Jared Fuelcell in second spot. Ethan Griggolt starting in row number 2. Ian Ford.
Yeah, Ian Ford.
Yeah, you go.
Yeah, Ian Ford, Aaron Hamilton, Ben Smith just running out of time here. James McKnight. It's a good time for James. Not sure he's had a lot of time as well. The STC boys did not have the opportunity of a great Spa 24-hour race. No doubt we'll talk about that in the broadcast. Corey Preston, Sammy Sutton, Mick Cracknell round out your top 10. Just outside of the top 10, Marcelo Rivera. Bo Cattell down on where he normally is. Probably hasn't had a lot of track time. Dale Nish has shown some good pace here this week. Had a good performance in the Friday race, I think it was, the V8 Supercars America Series. Dave Moore, Mario Vlasic, James Keane, Daniel Wood, new to the series, Greg Sharp, Parks, Mansarella, Jeremiah Morton, Dylan Shepherd, Martin Creamers, and Jack Boyd round out your field.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to watch Bo Cattell starting back there and see if he can work his way through the field a little bit.
Just got to, there's been a few incidents this week into turn 1 and going up to turn 2 at Coca-Cola Corner, just the mad rush of the cars going in there. So I know Ethan had dramas on the Saturday USA race and Ian Ford yesterday, but revs are building. So we're racing round 7 and Richard Hampstead has parked it. So he's had a shocking start. Fuelcell's already through there. The battle here behind, just going to settle in here. It's going to be tough for Richard Hampstead. He's just left himself hung out to dry there a bit. So Jared Fuelcell leads. The battle for third is between our series contenders in Ian Ford and Ethan Griggolt. Griggolt has an excellent run there and he'll get that job done. So deeping dive. Yeah, so everything seems to be a good start. We've got Fuelcell, Hampstead, Griggolt, Ford, Benny Smith made up a position, Aaron Hamilton, Corey Preston, James McKnight, Sam Sutton. It does look like a clean start. Marcelo Rivera and Mick Cracknell battling away. A bit of a touch there actually as they went under the Dunlop Bridge. Over the Dunlop Bridge. And Mick Cracknell, he's not having a lot of luck this season. I think who's that Dale Nish has just driven into the side of him. Yes, it was. So Mick's paying the price again for poor qualifying. He's certainly not where he's at with qualifying, but Dale Nish has really forced his way through there. But apart from that, it looks like a pretty... No, it's not a great clean opening lap because then Corey Preston has absolutely rammed into the side of Aaron Hamilton, I think it was, at turn 12. So both the teammates, Preston and Nish, the Apexy cars have found themselves in a bit of drama there.
Yeah, well, good start from everyone really, considering the strength of this field. They all kept their good head as they came into Coca-Cola Corner, and yeah, it's just a few minor incidents, so see if they can keep it all together.
So a 35 lap race is going to come across almost like a sprint race. Jared Fuelcell's opening lap time of 1:10.671, certainly good for a standing start. Richard Hampstead, didn't he just bog down on that start? There was just no movement at all from him. So whether he found a gear or I'm not sure what happened there, but certainly was off pace there. But he's settled in all right now. Ethan Griggolt, well, we know what he can do as the race gets longer and longer. Ian Ford would be disappointed not to make the most of what looked like a fairly good start, and Ben Smith there in 5th place.
Yeah, well, going on what Ethan's been doing, sitting back and waiting for his chance to attack. This is a short race, like I said, this is a sprint. We're already in lap 3, and he's going to have to get up and get on the wheel, I think, if he wants to win this one. He's got 2 very tough competitors to beat.
Yeah, with no pit stops to worry about tonight. We've also got someone in the pits, Todd Parks, not sure what's happened to him. So I'll get that sorted. Have to have a look what happened. So he's got system issues, he's lost his sound. So I think that happened not so long ago to someone in the Premier Series as well. I think Sean Kelly, I think it was off the top of my head, had that issue as well. So Todd Parks is the first of our retirement.
Yeah, unlucky there for Todd, but it's just it's like a mechanical issue, isn't it? Just got to take it as it comes and move on to the next race.
Yeah, well, no doubt him and the SS Kart team will be back bigger and better next week. I actually haven't taken the time to look where next week is yet, so hopefully you better fill us in there, Sam.
No.
Right, you are.
I've hardly got time to sleep at the moment, Brenton, but
Yeah.
I'll find out for you.
Yeah, I hear you loud and clear. So the best battle we've got here now already, P9, is closing up. Aaron Hamilton recovering from having a bit of a half spin there by Corey Preston driving into the side of him, so he's recovered, but also back in 10th place now, so Bo Cattell has got himself past Marcelo Rivera in that Way of Life car. Not used to seeing Bo this far back. He's got a little bit of damage to the back left of his car, I see, obviously from an earlier incident. Yeah, but we've been so used to Bo's lightning starts, especially at Spa, where he had both Ford and Ethan Grid-Gault before Eau Rouge, which was turn 1 for that grid, which is an exceptional start. So, hey, Bo Cattell, it's great to see him out here week in, week out. He wasn't here last week for our race at Sebring, but putting in some strong laps here. Just put a bit of a gap on Rivera, certainly not much. And Dale Nash, as we said, showed good form on Friday, and Mick Cracknell really got a bit of mist between his eyes after that lap 1 incident at Foster's Dip.
Yeah, Mick's had a hard run lately, but he's a good driver, and I'm sure when we go to Monza next week, he'll be running quite strong.
Thank you for that, gotcha. Out the front though, Jared Fieldstall, 105.7 last lap, matching that of Hampstead. Grid-Gault also 6.99, and it's not the price of his car, but his lap time 105.699, and Ford a 105.7. So these four running very much identical times. Yeah, if these guys are sweating off each other waiting for a mistake, you might be waiting for a really long time, because some of these guys are absolute jets around here, and this is almost a specialty track for some.
Yeah, they're very even times here. 105.69, like you said, for Ethan, a tiny bit quicker than Jared, but nothing to write home about. This might just come down to whose rear tyres holding the best. This track's, it's a real flowing track. If you get your flow wrong, then it can just really bite you and really upset your times.
There's just not that many places to pass, is there? You can be very aggressive into turn 12 at the Recaro corner, or fairly aggressive into turn 2 at Coca-Cola corner, but it's not the hardest track in the world to defend at. I guess turn 3 at Shell corner is probably the safest place to make a passing move, but you've really got to rely on the other car, you know, his tyres going off or some reason to find just that much more traction coming out of that turn.
Yeah, I find if you're trying to make a pass at Coca-Cola corner, you better be confident. I think the best thing is just to set up a good exit so you can put it down the inside as you come into Shell corner there, turn 3.
And we've got a good battle here with Dale Niche in the Apexi, what's he driving, a Holden Commodore there, and with Mick Cracknell in the Simpit Racing STC Motorsports Commodore. As we said, Mick started off 10th in the grid, down to 12th at the moment. I would imagine a lot of that's being pushed around, and Niche has just gone that little bit wide, so Cracknell through, having looked to see whether he's going to have some cut with Dave Moore. Yeah, good move by Dave Moore there. So through the dogleg, got the job done there at turn 10 and 11. So Niche just dropped off there, just lost those 2 spots. So we've got James Keane and Mario Brothers behind him, starting to get nervous already. So yeah, just that little mistake there by James Neens crushed him. We've also got Dylan Shepherd and Jack Boyd in the pits. Didn't see what happened there. The TPR engineering car, and Jack Boyd running as a privateer. And yeah, obviously they've had some issues as well in the pits, and yeah, there's no necessity to have a pit stop here in the race. So that will be it for them for the day.
Yeah, the action's definitely back here between David and Dale Niche and James Keane, and one more there, Mario Vlasic. So I think this is where the race is right now.
Yeah, and James McKnight's getting awfully racy here against Corey Preston as well. So this is the 13 car and the 7 car, and Corey making a mistake in exactly the same exit of Momo corner, turn 9 there as his teammate. So this is closing up now. So whether the Apexi car's tyres are going off already, I would doubt it. We're only at the end of lap 7, but James McKnight's one of these guys who gets stronger and stronger every race. It doesn't seem to qualify overly well, but he always does seem to have good race pace. Sammy Sutton, who's had good form, coming 5th last week at Sebring in what was a good job. Jeez, that's real deep there by McKnight.
It looks like McKnight gave Corey a little tap and might have had to check up a little bit too much there, and that lets Sammy Sutton through. But
and McKnight again.
Oh, my hero's having a shocker.
He is having a shocker, and it could get worse too with Aaron Hamilton, that Maverick welding car, trying to go. He has got worse too. So, well, we got on board right on time there with James McKnight. You're a TV star now, James, because you're the star of that show. A few mistakes there, and he's dropped 3 positions there, unfortunately. But it's a bit of time to go yet. But that's all from that mistake entering Coca-Cola with Corey Preston there, and Sammy Sutton. Aaron Hamilton had made the most of that and got that move done. So promotion there for the Maverick Welding ERA car, and also for Sam Sutton in the Dayco car. Not expecting them to take too long to get onto the back of the Corey Preston car. His last lap of 107.6. That's in comparison with Sammy Sutton's 6.4. So certainly a big gain there. And Aaron Hamilton 6.9. So you'd expect them to be back on that Apexi car probably within the next lap too.
Yeah, hopefully James can just put his head down, his bum up, and even though it's a pretty big one, I'm sure he'll be able to make up some spots.
Wouldn't mind doing a jumping on board with the Maverick welding car here of Aaron Hamilton. He's going to have the best seat in the house of the back of that Dayco car there, and you can just see that it's such a tight track. We had the tight track at the Circuit of Americas a couple of weeks ago, and then that more open flowing track at Sebring last week. But yeah, this is the ultimate in tight tracks for the V8 Supercars this season. We just saw up in front of us at the exit of the Foster's Dip, turning into turn 9 and Momo corner, again Corey Preston just a little bit loose there on exit, and just made that bit of a loss of time again. So Sammy Sutton putting lots of pressure on the back of Corey now, and James McKnight certainly hasn't gone away from the back of that Maverick welding car. So a good battle here for 6th, 7th, 8th and 9th.
Yeah, we might just sit back and let you guys enjoy the sounds of the V8 Supercar for a lap here. There we have it, just as we come around Recaro corner, and you see Aaron made a big mistake and James McKnight literally slipped through. So it looks like Aaron might have heated up his tyres a little bit there, Brenton. What do you think of the situation?
Well, I'm thinking we're going to get the marshmallows out because Hamilton's tyres will be absolutely cooked. A lot of wheel spin, you can hear that. I'm not sure if he's going to be ultra competitive for the next lap or two. He's going to have to probably back off, get that tyre temperature back down and save himself for a rainy day and get back into it. We're only at lap 11 now. Bo Catel's just behind this pack here, but yeah, Sammy Sutton and Corey Preston just seem that little bit safer at the moment. I'm thinking James McKnight's going to start putting some pressure on, but out in front there it really seems to have settled down to a point. Richard Hampstead's 105.9 last lap compared to Phil Saw's 105.7, so it's really fantastic to have these guys here. We had Madison down at the Circuit of the Americas race 2 weeks ago in what was a fantastic race with Ethan Griggolt. So Griggolt here is probably not at his best, it has to be said. He's certainly dropped off the pace a little bit. He's 2 seconds now. He's actually a little bit quicker than the 2 in front last lap, but he's just about 2 seconds off the pace. But Richard Hampstead really closing up on Jared Filsaw.
Yeah, and Ethan's got to keep a little bit of an eye on his mirror for Ian Ford as well. He's not too far back. So I think it's going to be pretty tough for Ethan to win this one tonight. I think he's just going to have to settle down, get a good finish and think about the big picture.
Well, that's exactly right. And, third place tonight, if he gets that, will be his worst result for the season. So it's not a problem that you and I will ever have to deal with. But he still has to get this done. It's lap 12. The pressure's going to be coming on from Ian Ford shortly, but I think Ethan's in a position now where he can even let Ian pass him on the greater majority of races and still have that championship in his bag. However, it comes down to a bit of a pride thing. you've got two really good guys in front of you, Richard Hampstead and Jared Fieldster, and certainly no one's going to be calling Richard Hampstead a mobile chicane this week. And he's put the car on pole position, extremely quick on this track today. And maybe Fieldster's holding up a little bit, certainly not too much, because Jared also doing a great job in that ANZ car. But yeah, what have we got between the top four? Just the 3.1 seconds. Benny Smith's having a pretty lonely race back there in 5th. I don't think he's going to hate that after what was a pretty good effort in the Spa 24-hour race, and that battle still goes on between Preston, Sutton, McKnight and Hamilton.
Yeah, I'm just scooting around the track here to try and find a good battle. It's pretty hard to find one at the moment. This track introduces just lots of single file racing, and yeah, we might head back to a bit further down the field there. What do we got?
Yeah,
Greg Sharp.
Yeah, he actually might have. Marcelo has just passed Greg Sharp. These are the Evolution Racing Australia teammates, so I don't think that would have been too racy. I actually think I heard Sharp saying Marcelo go through, but Marcelo's obviously made a mistake somewhere, because he did qualify 11th on the grid, so I'm thinking that Marcelo will find himself probably being a bit quicker than some of these cars in front. Daniel Wood is next on the ladder there, and then they've got the battle with Vlasic and Keane yet again in front now. Keane's done a really good job, considering he doesn't drive the V8s pretty much at all. This guy pretty much concentrates on the Star Mazdas and the Skip Barber, so really does the greater majority of his iRacing in the open wheel series. So does a really good job in the V8s on his one race a week.
Just looks like Richard might have closed up the gap a little bit on fuel cell, not much, but Jared might just be playing the tyre game as well here.
Yeah, we could be.
Yeah, I know Fuel Cell really enjoys this track. He's got a lot of laps here, a lot of race wins. It's going to be hard to beat out there from here, I think, Brent.
Yes, he will be. I've got no doubt about that. But it's such a famous track. We just go back to Marcelo Rivera. We're talking about him recovering, and he's going through the dogleg around the outside, if you don't mind. So that takes a bit of cooperation and a lot of trust between the two drivers. So Daniel Wood dropping down that spot. Marcelo Rivera promoted from 17th up to 16th now. Pretty good lap time too, probably a little bit off. His last lap before that was pretty good, but he's now got that little bit of a gap in front of him where he can get into the battle with James Keenan, the Sister Way of Life car, and Mario Vlasic.
Yeah, well, the laps are quickly running out here. Lap 15 of 35, 20 to go. I'm sure some people are starting to suffer from overheating their tyres or getting a little bit of understeer. Might see a few changes in positions here soon.
Well, you're going to, because for reasons unknown, Bo Cattell in the car 6, the SSR car, is in the pits. Not sure what that's about, but as we said earlier, there's no reason to be in the pits. You can certainly make it on 3/4 of a tank full of fuel here, so obviously drama's there for the Cattell car, which is a real shame for Bo, because he's been a good supporter of the series, and yeah, he'll hopefully come back well for Monza next week, but don't know what that drama is there for him.
Well, I just went 4 laps in fast reverse watching him, and he has a little off track, but he hasn't hit the wall or anything, so maybe he didn't put enough fuel in. Maybe he left his qual set on.
Yeah, I don't know. And also Corey Preston has dropped the bundle as well. He's now behind the battle of Hamilton, McKnight and Sutton. So just having a look at Corey's lap times. His last lap time was fairly solid. Yeah, lap 14. He's obviously made a mistake. That the lap of 109.5. So it's one of those tracks where you do tend to get on the train a little bit behind some of the slower cars, and yeah, the best way and the cleanest way to get through is if they make a mistake. So that mistake by Preston, yeah, could have been a shortcut. We don't know, didn't see. Although I do notice a little bit of damage to the front right of his car now. So yeah,
well, I
Sammy
can give
Sutton.
you an update there, mate. Corey Preston has come really hard down into Coca-Cola corner. He's run a little bit wide, got his right wheels on the grass, and yeah, just went off the end of the turn, mate. That's where he lost all those positions. It's not unlike Corey to make a mid-race mistake either. He has a lot of pace in qualifying, and something always seems to go wrong for Corey. I think if he could work on that, he'd be a much much faster racer and probably a championship contender.
Yeah, Ethan Grigolt's also making a little bit of a gain here on Richard Hampstead, who just seems to have dropped off a little bit from Jared Fieldstell, so not sure what the situation is there. Hampstead was pretty close up behind Fieldstell before, so just wondering whether there's a bit of heat in those tyres. They do tend to go off a bit here. Also don't know what each team's running individually with their tyre pressures. But Grigolt just starting to make those little gains. He's still 1.1 seconds off of the top two. And Ian Ford certainly looks like he's more settled in fourth position. And Bo Cattell has left us from the server, so unlucky for Bo this week.
Yeah, unlucky to see that happen to Bo. We probably won't find out what actually happened, but yeah, I'm sure we'll see him back here next week at Monza.
So the Sam Sutton Dayco car, certainly, you can't accuse Sammy of being slow, there's no doubt about that. I just think he's got some cars who are slightly quicker behind him, and as the race gets on, we're lap 18 now, so we're over halfway now, so the frustration starts to build, Aaron Hamilton, awfully racy as well. Aaron does, as we all know, gets caught up in more than his fair share of little race incidents, and obviously with Corey being involved as well, so as the race goes on, there might be a bit of impatience, so hopefully all the boys will stay as are, and if there's any racing or any passing, hopefully it's all done nice and squeaky clean. Mick Cracknell, in the meantime, is put in a couple of good laps here of late, and certainly Dave Moore's still putting a bit of pressure on him behind as well, so if it's a change of team for Dave Moore, he's certainly shown some strong races, and again today, and quick now with a 106.8, matching the exact time of Moore and Nash, so good times there. And the battle of Keane and Vlasic will soon be joined by Marcelo Rivera.
Yeah, like you said just before, the battle of the race right now is between Sammy Sutton, James McKnight, Aaron Hamilton and Corey Preston, so we'll see if everyone can just keep their head here. I know James will be itching to get back past him.
Well, he will, yeah, and show the true potential. Notice that the old boy's not here this week. Where's old Mother Hubbard, Marty Carroll?
Oh, mate, he's getting so slow. He's probably still driving home from doing the shopping. No, Marty's recently moved into a new premises, and he hasn't got his internet installed yet, so he'll be sitting out for a little bit.
Well, as the race goes on, lap 20 now for Jared Fieldstell. His fastest lap of the race of 105.628. Certainly thinking that is the fastest lap of the race so far. No, Ethan Grigolt had a 105.578, and Ian Ford would have the fastest lap of the race so far, a 105.495. All of those on lap 3 whilst the tyres are fresh. Times are not dropping off that dramatically. Certainly with the Ford car, 6 flat, 6 flat, 6 flat, 6-1. So times seem to be pretty static there, same with Grigolt, who showed some excellent pace in the USA race on Saturday. Didn't get the race win due to a turn 1 error, but his lap times at the end of the race were outstanding, constantly dropping into the mid to low fives. Obviously the weather plays quite a bit of part of that, but just with that little bit hotter temperature what they had, the tyres are just screaming that little bit more. And if you go out to the front there, Fieldstell with a 6.2, little gain by Hampstead of 2/10 and 2/10 by both the cars behind as well. So Fieldstell's tyres, there might be just a might have just made a small mistake. I would doubt it. We're only talking 2/10 of a second here, but that ANZ Simworks car looks in a very controlling position, and Jared driving what is a very controlled race.
Yeah, Jared's a true professional when it comes to sim racing. He's not going to make many mistakes up there. Still got my eye on James McKnight here, and I think we've got a battle with Riviera back in P15.
Yeah, and he's already actually got through Mario Vlasic, so that's come out of nowhere there. So, you know, Mario is not one of the easiest guys to pass, no doubt about that. And Marcelo, who started 11th position, we saw him drop down as low as 18th. He's now got his teammate James Keane in front of him. Won't be any team orders there, but I'm not sure Keane is going to be that racy alongside Marcelo. Marcelo really is trying to do a lot more V8 racing this season. Not sure what his plans are next season, but that Way of Life car done by Night Riders Designs looks pretty flush, I reckon. So if you need any skins done up, make sure you give Jake Blackhall a call at Night Rider Designs. He does a good effort there, and James Keane very loose on the exit there at Momo Corner, entering the dogleg, and no doubt they'll be hoping that Marcelo doesn't bring Mario Vlasic with him to James Keane, although Vlasic seems to have dropped off from the back of Keane. He was right there at some stage, and just looking at the drive there out of turn 12 at Ricardo Corner, Marcelo's drive out of that last turn compared to the other two, so much superior.
Yeah, we've got another good battle here in P11 with Dale Niche and David A. Moore. Just outside the top 10. Looks like Dale Niche should be pretty keen to get up into that top 10.
What's Marty Creamers, however you want to describe it as well. Not sure what happened there to the Mad Cow racing car.
He has creamed his engine, blown it up on a downshift.
Okay, so yeah, not much luck happening there for the... actually, no, he's not Mad Cow Racing. I do apologise. He's with SDRT now, a former Mad Cow Racing car who, has to be said, Mad Cow Racing did an outstanding job over the weekend in that Spa 24-hour race. Got the 5th or 6th in class, in GT3 class in that Ford GT in the top split, so well done to them. And also a special mention to the GTI team as well. 5th overall, the HBDs, and that was an excellent performance, and could have maybe been even up high if they didn't have some disconnection issues. That seemed to be the big thing from the Spa 24-hour race, but I've had long days before, but that was a long day.
Yeah, well, great effort for anyone who ran in it, really. It's a really epic event, and good to see so many people turn out, and good to see all the V8 Supercar drivers there as well.
So we've got the two Way of Life cars here battling away 13th and 14th. Like I said, there won't be any team orders if James decides to get out of the way. That's on his own back. But yeah, Marcelo Rivera, I'd imagine these two guys might just want to keep racing what is the certainly the mid-pack here. And I would imagine also that if James Keane does make any mistake, you'll see the privateer Mario Vlasic diving in there. So Mario, he's always racing with us week in, week out. And he shows a heavy commitment to the V8s, as we've discussed in other races. Certainly isn't completely immune to putting the elbows out and knocking a few cars over. But so far, so good in tonight's race.
And speaking of big battles, mate, we've got Richard Hampstead has closed up that gap to Fuel Cell quite a bit. Just watching him, he really outbraked him into Coca-Cola Corner. So it looks like Hampstead's... his car might be a little bit more stable under braking, and yeah, we'll see how it goes here.
Yeah, and I'm just watching Dale Niche having an off track there at turn 2, Coca-Cola Corner. My wife will pick me up for that. She says I say it completely wrong. And David, that's what that's done, is let David Moore through. So Moore with that gain there moves up that position to 11th. Be interested to see if he can make any ground on Mick Cracknell there. There is a 1.7 second gap between those two. Cracknell with a 6.8 last lap, 7.1 for Moore behind Dale Niche. So interested to see if there's any gains there. This battle for 13th, 14th and 15th continues between the teammates and Mario Vlasic. Mario qualified 15th, sticking in 15th at the moment. Daniel Wood, Greg Sharp, Anthony Mansarella and Jeremiah Morton will round off your field. But you're right, the battle up the front with Phil Sell and Hampstead certainly closing up pretty close to identical lap times, but as we say, week in, week out, catching's one thing, passing's another, and these two so far tonight really seem to be the class of the field. Ethan Grigol and Ian Ford really not being able to put a hell of a lot of pressure on their two leading cars tonight.
No, it just seems to me that Hampstead might be stronger in the first half of the track. Jared's stronger in the second half, so we'll just have to keep an eye on and see if Richard can actually make a gain. Maybe Jared made a little mistake which pulled him up, but you see Richard close right up to the back of him under brakes there.
Yeah, so he seems to be stronger Hampstead into turn 2, the Coca-Cola corner.
That's where you need to be strong. I think you can get away with being a bit slower in the, as through Foster's dip and Momo Corner and up through the dog leg. But if you want to make a pass, you need to be good at turn 1, turn 2. That's for sure.
Yeah, feels at the same time he doesn't have to be as aggressive. But going back to this battle again, James McKnight's right in the middle here of a few cars that get a bit racy. Aaron Hamilton, the RA car, in 8th place. McKnight 7th. Sammy Sutton still seems to be having that bit of a queue behind him here in 6th place. They really dropped off the back of Ben Smith. These guys are 5 seconds off the back of Ben Smith. Not sure Ben Smith's seen a car for a long time, so hopefully for Smith's sake he'll have a bit of excitement later in the day. I think he's going to be trying to do the Skip Barber race pretty much straight after this. So Sutton, McKnight and Hamilton still continue on their battle. Corey Preston recovering from what was a little incident before that you described so well. Hasn't made any ground on these guys, but Aaron Hamilton, certainly after cooking his tyres and losing that spot, seems to have got his tyre temperature back under control and is right back into it.
Yeah, you're right about that. James McKnight right in the middle of the sandwich there. It's not the first time James would have been in the middle of a man's sandwich, but hopefully he can keep his head and and Aaron's definitely found the pace.
So many things could be said right there, and what that's done, Corey Preston is now right on the back, so a three-way battle's really turned into a four-way battle. Mick Cracknell probably a bit too far off the back of these guys to make any significant impact there at all. Marcelo Rivera and Mario Vlasic have passed James Keane, so didn't see, but I'm thinking Keane might have made a mistake because he's now under severe attack from Daniel Wood, and Daniel Wood has also been able to pass James Keane, so whether Keane originally let Rivera through and just lose that rhythm, as you said, I think in the pre-race that rhythm here is such an important thing, and you lose that rhythm and you start hitting curves, you start getting off tracks, and I think that's where James Keane's at the moment. So a bit of a disastrous lap by James Keane, dropping those 3 spots, but as I said, he doesn't do a lot of V8 racing, and just the fact he's here in the top split, putting up a bit of an effort, it's good to see.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you're spot on about the rhythm. Oh, and you just see James Keane now. He's off track, keeps it off. Oh, he's had a big moment. He's rolled it. He's rolled it at Ricardo Corner. He's on his side. See if he can exit. Oh, he gets just out of the way and just in time.
Well, he'll be a proud winner of the Evolution Racing Australia Rollie Award after that one. So, I just gave James a bit of a rap. He'll make the 9:15 Skip Barber races after that one, no doubt. So we'll see a replay of that.
He ran a bit wide through the dog leg, caught the grass, tried to get back, and then just slammed the tyre wall, flipped it over there. Lucky no one else was involved. Big accident.
Yeah, it was a big accident. I don't think Keeney's going to be too disappointed about leaving that race, but it looks like it might have been maybe a bit of contact between himself and Mario, just from reading the chat there. I'll have a look at that later on. But what are we, lap 29 here, and Ian Ford's also had a really lonely race, so the Davidoff Innovations cars pretty much flying solo. Ethan Grigol certainly hasn't dropped too far away off of Hampstead and Fuelsell, certainly wouldn't be seen as threatening from back there, 2.5 seconds. So really the class of the field tonight, Fuelsell and Hampstead, certainly doing a fantastic job.
Doing a great job, yeah. Richard doesn't seem to be able to close the gap anymore, but just trying to find Ethan's lap times. I think he's just realised where he's at today, and he's just going to just keep lapping and get this race in the books, mate, as we've got 5 to go.
Yeah, we'll never be disappointed about getting a top 3 position in what is an extremely strong field again here for the Monday night main strength of field V8 Supercar race, brought to you by RaceSpotTV and also Davidoff Innovation. Sammy Sutton and James McKnight in the meantime having a battle here. McKnight's actually going to get a half look in here. This is where McKnight set himself up so badly last time and dropped so, but very late under brakes, both of them. This is where the race is going to be from here to the finish. We'll stick with this for a while because McKnight certainly seems now to have the pace on Sutton.
Yeah, Sammy defending there. See if James can get a crossover. Can't get it done. He's all over in the back of him.
And the car at 11 behind them, Aaron Hamilton, he doesn't need a written invitation if McKnight or Sutton leave a gap there. He's just going to put that car, that nose in there and hope for the best on occasion. But all four of them seem to be driving quite well at the moment. Doesn't seem to be too much damage after the early incidents involving some of the car. G McKnight very taily there out of turn 9 at Momo. Through the dog leg that held a good line there, but just dropped off Sutton a little bit there. But this is where McKnight seems to get that really good drive there. A lot of wheel spin on exit there for Aaron Hamilton. That might put him under attack from Corey Preston behind. But things just settled down a little bit that lap. We're lap 31 now. So this race is quickly coming to a conclusion.
Yeah, out of these four drivers, I think James probably the one who's his car's not looking as stable as the rest of them. And yeah, Corey Preston, Aaron Hamilton, they'll just be sitting back licking their lips like they did at Motorsport back in 2010.
Okay, I'd imagine they might have been, and if James was there, well, who knows what could have happened. But
well, we won't go into details, mate.
No, we will not. These four cars, I've got a strong prediction that as we see the cars, Sutton, McKnight, Hamilton and Preston, I don't think they're going to finish in this order at all. So there could be some changes coming. We've got lap 31 of 35, so hopefully the racing will continue on long and strong here. But Sammy Sutton's done a great job here. He's qualified nice, got himself up to 6, but McKnight looks very racy on this exit here. This is where he seems to pick up so much more, and again, as described before, so he's going to have a real good run here.
Yeah, there's not much you can do though, really, except set yourself up, I feel. I guess if you've got, if you know your car's stable as you will, he has a look down there. As you see, there he goes, locks the brake, can't get it done. Good recovery. Now he's going to have to defend as he comes down here into Shell Corner. And
what's going to happen here? There it goes.
Preston,
Told you.
Aaron Hamilton.
That was always going to happen, and
Very
Corey
ordinary
really
racing.
shoved his nose in there.
Very ordinary.
It was, yeah, I'll have a look at the replay on that before we start passing the blame game there. Oh, Corey's tried to, I'll have a look at that from a different angle, but just from the angle I initially saw, it looked like Corey actually had wheels off the track there to try and pass Corey. Yeah, there's no room there for Corey to get past, and Corey has really driven into Aaron Hamilton there, I've got no doubt about that, but they will describe that later on. But I think Aaron's car, is it being up and away, but yeah, you can see Corey's car with a little bit of damage as well from that replay, and yeah, we'll have another look at that. And yeah, it's all a little bit messy, and that started with James McKnight out-braking himself into the Coca-Cola corner turn 2, and that really set up just from the chopper view. Oh, yeah, there's no room there, Corey, I'm afraid. And geez, didn't Hamilton absolutely smack that tyre barrier extremely hard?
Yeah, that was just getting a bit too greedy late in the race, I think, trying to take advantage of something that wasn't there to be taken advantage of.
Yeah, well, we did.
Which I won't mention anything else.
Yeah, we did pick it that that things would change there, and they changed very, very quickly. Out at the front, though, we've got two. It's just a shame that it happened, because it really did split that leading pack up. The leading pack certainly now should be. Just had a few cars that they've had to lap, less than 2 laps to go now. So Jared Fieldsill has led pretty much from start to finish after Hampstead's ordinary start. I'd like to hear what happened to Richard there, but yeah, something that he hasn't been able to recover from on a longer race, a tactical race with pit stops. You get that opportunity in an undercut, but for these little sprint races, it really is just a drag to line. And on tracks such as Oran Park, which come here every season, and we get the same thing. It's just so hard to pass. And again tonight.
Yeah, I think it'd be really interesting if they. I know they are limiting fuel now in the V8 series, but even on these short sprint races, to really limit it. So, just to put a pit stop in, make it more interesting. You know, even if it's just a little stop and go for 10, 12 litres. And yeah, I just think it would shake up these types of races a little bit more. As you see now, everyone's pretty well spread out. And I think the closest battle right now might be David Moore and Dale Nish.
Yeah, well, the white flag's out last lap, so we're Jared Field. So it's great to have Jared in the series here. I think it's his first race for the season with us. He's obviously done very well in the Premier Series, taking taken a couple of race wins early in the Premier Series, and I think he's had some pedal and wheel problems since then, so he's been very restricted into how many races he's been able to do of late. But he's come here, he's made a bit of a statement. He's accepted the challenge of Ethan Greg Galt, who has pretty much dominated this series, with the exception of Alton Park and with Circuit Americas, where Ian Ford and Madison Down took the race win. So Jared Field's still doing a great job.
Yeah, doing a really good job. Dale Nish is right up on the back here. I see out of the corner of my eye, Corey Preston's had another little spin.
So as Jared Field sort of exits the turn 12 Recaro corner, round 7 winner of the, and he looks pretty stoked about it too. That car hasn't been too straight since there. So round 7 winner of the official iRacing V8 Supercar Championship, brought to you by Damanov Innovations, RaceSpotTV. Jared Field is our race winner. He just got the job done by 0.6 of a second in front of Richard Hampstead, so congratulations to TTL. Ethan Greg Galt, our series leader, 2.2 seconds behind. Ian Ford dropped off dramatically at the end there, had some incident issues there, didn't want to find himself disqualified. He was very high there, but Ben Smith had an extremely lonely race in 5th place. Great battle throughout for Sammy Sutton, James McKnight 6 and 7. Aaron Hamilton, we saw the dramas that he had at the end. Mick Cracknell, through that mistake by Preston there at the last lap, got himself into 9th position. Corey Preston held on to that 10th position, only just in front of the battling David Moore and Dale Nish, Mario Vasic, Daniel Wood. Greg Sharp, didn't see much of him tonight. Very quiet race by Greg Sharp. Anthony Manzarella, again a quiet race. These guys concentrating mostly on the Spa 24 hour, and Jeremiah Morton making some gains at the end there, up into 17th. What we didn't mention and what we didn't know was that Marcelo Rivera, from what would have been 14th position, had a disconnect on the second to last lap, so that drops him down into 18th position. James Keane, we saw the issues that happened to him, DNF. Martin Premers, Bo Cattell, Dennis Shepard, Jack Boyd, and Todd Parks with his technical issue. All cars that were non-finishers. Yeah,
great race by Fuel Cell. He definitely silenced the critics, and he's definitely enjoying himself out there now. He's lighting them up for the fans.
Yeah, he had a Premier Series race at Sonoma where he had a bit of damage and held the field up a little bit, has to be known, but certainly wasn't anything untoward there. He had podium position, and even though the car was a bit sick, still had his right to be there. There was no blue flags. He was racing clean, holding his line, and cars were struggling to get the job done to pass him, but in the end I think he dropped down to 6th place in that race, but certainly showed his true potential here by grabbing pole and finishing up in 2nd place.
Yeah, great drive there by Richard, Ethan, and everyone actually to get through the first turn with such a big field and such a competitive field. They did really well. So I think now if we got time, we might cut to a break. We'll see you when we get back.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos and danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. Sure, they've got the most accurate tracks and realistic cars out there, but that's just the start. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight, and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all are kept in the pits. Not to mention that with over 45,000 active members already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in on the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
So the Mazda Shootout is a competition that Mazda Motorsports puts together to find best up-and-coming road racers in America and give them an opportunity to further their careers. iRacing's involvement allows sim racers, presumably with not a lot of real-world seat time, the same opportunity. This year, iRacers who compete in the Season 3 iRacing Mazda Cup will have the opportunity to go to the shootout this fall. Last year was the first year that iRacing was involved, and we sent 2 iRacers to the shootout. Evan and Steven, they did great on track. They were really fast in the car and represented sim racers and iRacers very well. The way that iRacers will qualify is that the top 10 in finishing points will be invited to submit an application to iRacing. We'll review that with a panel here, and we'll pick 2 finalists who will then automatically go right on to the shootout. So this is a really great opportunity for any racer, and especially a sim racer. The winner of the shootout this fall wins a fully paid scholarship from Mazda to compete in the 2016 Battery Tender Mazda MX-5 Cup. It's a really great prize, really great opportunity if you want to have a road racing career.
Cars are lined up on the grid. The iRacing.com World Championship Grand Prix Series. We are underway. They all come down into turn 1 for the first time.
Welcome back to the pre-race show, round 7, Oran Park Motorsports. You're with Brent O'Brien, Sammy Compton in the cameras, doing directing, Hugo Lewis doing a fantastic job as usual. With us tonight, coming in 10th position, dropping a couple of positions late there, including a last lap spin, unfortunately, for Apexi Racing, Corey Preston. Corey, welcome to the show, 8th on the grid, 10th in the race. Tell us a bit about your race.
Yeah, hi Brenton. Thanks, mate. Yeah, I had a bit of shifter issues that race, and I think I ended up plucking first down at turn 1, and that saw me go off. And then I got back into a battle with McKnight and Suddy and Hamilton, and then yeah, last couple of laps didn't go to plan, but still a good race overall.
Yeah, and the Apexi team showed some good pace. I think it was the Friday V8 Supercars Americas race where I think yourself and your teammate Dalnesh had some good pace here. So, you know, the team seems to be working well together. There's some longer races coming up, Monza next week, and then we head into other tracks as well. And there's other series as well, with the Premier Series going into endurance soon, and also the Sudden Death Racing team have an excellent endurance series as well. So the team seems to be going quite well with you and Dale.
Yeah, the team's going good. I mean, Dale's just finding his feet with some equipment difficulties, let's put it, and he's starting to come to terms with what he needs to do, and he's getting up there. He's actually a higher I rating than me this race, yeah. We'll be looking good for the Enduros, hopefully. But I've told him he has to drive the Falcon, and he was a bit cross at me with that.
Well, understandably so, mate. We've got a pretty packed schedule tonight on a limited time, mate. So thanks for your time. Before you go, though, is anyone want to thank at all?
Yeah, Dale, keeping my head in line and bones. But yeah, I don't have any sponsors to thank because those stickers on the car are just to make the car look pretty. But yeah, if I had sponsors, I'd thank them. But yeah, thanks, Brian, and you guys do an awesome job.
Should put a few your name here stickers on there, Corey. You might get a few calls, mate. You get plenty of airtime, that's for sure.
Yeah, hopefully.
And I'm sure if there was a Brian here, he would say thanks as well, but there's no Brians here. So, no, good job tonight, Corey. A bit of drama there late. We're just going to keep moving. We've also got with us in fourth place tonight, Ian Ford for the Demonov Innovations Racing Australia car. Ian, not how you wanted it to go. I know you showed some good pace winning the America's race on Saturday. Fourth on the grid, fourth in the race. It looked like you had some issues out there.
Got us there, Ian.
Ian's
looks like
gone
we're having
very
some technical issues.
quiet.
See if you can find someone else here, Brian.
Yeah, Brian's working hard. What we've got instead is our series leader, Ethan Griggold. Ethan, third on the grid, third on the race. Gee whiz, shame on you, young man. That's your worst position for this series here at round 7 at Oran Park. Mate, nothing to be ashamed of there. Beaten by two really good guys who love racing at Oran Park. So, good job. Tell us a bit about the race.
Yeah, thanks. First off, I'll just quickly talk about qualifying. I was getting a bit afraid there. I was half a second off the guys for a while there, but I just calmed myself down, try to bring the car up a little straighter, and I managed to get a time closer to them, so at least I didn't damage my confidence too much in that respect. But yeah, in the race I had a good crack. I was pushing as hard as I could, but if only I had that extra half a tenth per lap, I would have been up with them dicing.
Yeah, and just the with that qualifying, it's such a hard track to pass on. I saw you do a fantastic move on Marlon McMullen on the Sunday race at Turn 7, Foster's Dip there, but you know, the temperature and the track tonight just seemed to make that much more difference. But surely, for a series perspective, third place is a really good job for you.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Especially travelling behind two guys as experienced as Jared and Richard. It's great to be up there, but trying to battle with those guys. So yeah, I'm quite pleased after that race.
And next week towards Monza, I'm not thinking you would have had too much time to have any practice here. You might not even own the track, don't know. But what's your thoughts going into next week?
Oh, it's definitely up there on my favourite tracks. I massively enjoyed it last week. iRacing's version of it is just absolutely amazing. So yeah, I can't wait for it. 220Ks is going to be a bit tough though.
Yeah, speaking of Monza, I've heard a few rumours, Ethan and Brian, that iRacing, they've made a little mistake, and it's going to be the Monza Oval.
Oh.
Really?
Well, that'll be interesting.
Yeah, so everyone out there might have to go out and do a bit of oval practice.
It'd probably just be flat out in the V8 the entire time. It'd be a battle of who can stay alive through that bump coming onto the main straight.
Yeah. Now, how much have you raced at Oran Park, Ethan? Because I know for a fact Jared and Richard have got hundreds of races under their belt here. Have you? Is this your first season when you've raced here, or how do you find Oran Park?
It's not one of my favourite tracks. I find it a little too small for the V8, to be honest, and doesn't really suit my driving style too much. But yeah, I've owned the track for probably about 6 months, so I bought it at the start of the year for season 1. But yeah, I've probably had about 10 or 11 so races on it. So not a whole lot of experience around here, but yeah, I'm pretty happy with the result.
Yeah, great result, mate. Good job.
Well, mate, good job. Just had some background noise there. But, mate, good job tonight, Ethan. And, yeah, that'll be interesting next week for Monza if it is the old layout. But looking forward to that, mate, and good luck for the rest of the series.
Yep, thanks, mate.
Ethan Griggold there coming third tonight in the main strength of field Monday night race. With us, we have in brackets a mobile chicane. We also know him as Richard Hampstead. Rich, great to have you in this series, mate. No, well, he didn't deserve that feedback.
No.
Rich did a great job at Sonoma, and Ian Ford's a teammate of mine, and I don't think he should have said it. Rich had damage to his car. He's not slow, we know that. Did a fantastic job at Sonoma. There was no blue flags at all, so good luck to him with that. However, tonight, Rich, mate, well, at the start line, you did look like it might be a mobile chicane off the line. It certainly didn't go anywhere.
Yeah, no, Jared's been nailing starts pretty much all year, unfortunately. So I was pretty worried with the run down to turn 1. He managed to get me in the V8 scops around here a couple of months ago into turn 1 too. So yeah, unfortunately just couldn't keep up. Managed to keep in second though, and pretty much stayed there all race really, just trying to chase him down. Really hard race actually, just trying to do consistent fast laps, try to get in front of Jared, but at the same time being mindful that Ethan's just a little bit behind and just as fast. So yeah, unfortunately couldn't pull it off today, but well done to Jared, and yeah, really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it looked like you're... Sorry, Brian. It looked like you're a little bit quicker under brakes. Up about 7 to go, it looked like you might have had a chance to get past him. Got any thoughts on that?
Yeah, no, I noticed that too. Just following Jad around most of the race, I especially seemed to be a bit stronger into turn 1 and 2. So I tried to push a little bit harder with about 10 laps to go, just to hopefully close him down. But yeah, when I started to push a bit harder, the tyres just weren't there, and I started to make a few little errors and make a few mistakes. I was probably actually a little bit slower than I was before I started pushing, but yeah, I gave it everything I had and just came up short, unfortunately.
Well, Rich, it's great to have you in the series. Monza next week. I know you certainly showed up for Circuit of the Americas, but who was that did that dive? Was it James McKnight or Dennis Gaderick? I can't remember, but Jason certainly. Turn 1.
That was Dennis Gaderick.
Dennis
Gaderick, yeah. And obviously that certainly compromised yours and Ian Ford's race at the time. But mate, so this is your second race start as Monza next week. Is there any expectation of being at that race?
I'm not sure. It depends on schedule. I'm not sure if there's a V8 Scops round this weekend or not. But if there's not, there's a good chance that I might turn up. If there is, I probably won't. So, yeah.
Well, my co-commentator Sammy Copton's suggesting that next week might be the mixed layout of the Grand Prix circuit with the oval track. So that would certainly be interesting. A field of V8s going around that.
It's all rumours, Brian O'Brien.
Yeah, but you know what though? Can you imagine a full field of V8s going around that oval section without a fence on the outside? Yeah, it would be space shuttles launching everywhere. So I actually hope it is the old layout. But anyway, talking about TTL, mate, you haven't been that active in the Premier Series. I know you've had a few race misses there, but the rest of the season, what's the plan there?
Yeah, not sure. I mainly did this race because I feel I've fallen a little bit behind in terms of setup and maybe even driving. So I'm just trying to get as many laps as I can at the moment, really. Try to bridge the gap to some of the other guys, especially Madison. So yeah, depends really. V8 Scops is #1 priority at the moment, so I'll try to do a couple of races hopefully in the official. But yeah, it depends on a couple other things as well. So yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, well, my information is that Madison won't be able to race in the Bathurst 1000, and neither will Lee Ellis, so it just leaves a bit of an opening there for others. But mate, good job tonight. Is there anyone you want to thank at all?
Yeah, I'll just thank my team. Thank Matthew Hill for spotting. Did a good job feeding me lap times and stuff, and of course thanks to our main sponsor Pagnian. And of course you
Good
guys
job.
too for broadcasting it. You're doing a good job.
Cheers, Rich. Appreciate that. And, mate, yeah, looking forward to hopefully seeing yourself and more strong representation. We've had Vale Riches come out, and I think Latham came out a couple of weeks ago as well. So hopefully, Yeah, actually, yeah, and Emerson, you're right. Sorry. So it'd be great to see all the TTL cars at once out there. So looking forward to that. So thank you to that, Richard Hampstead, second tonight in round 7 of the V8 Supercar Official Series on iRacing. We also have our race winner for tonight, Jared Fieldsell. What a fantastic job, Jared. Congratulations. Welcome to the series. I think this is your first race, I think, on a Monday night. So fantastic way to start. Second on the grid. Very controlling race win. I'm not going to say a dominant race win, but it was a very controlled race win. Tell us a bit about it.
Yeah, thanks guys. Yeah, it's my first race in the series. Pretty cool. The broadcast looks absolutely great from when I was spectating a few weeks ago. But yeah, that race was pretty tough. Me and Richard have spoken afterwards, and yeah, we're absolutely stuffed after that. After not being within 0.5 of a second the whole race. That was tough gig.
It's just that type of track though, isn't it, where it just seems to be a lot of single lane. But do you find it a track that you find it once you're in front or even in position, do you find it's relatively easy here to defend, or like you said, you guys have built up a bit of a sweat, you've got to work your ass off the whole way through?
Yeah, definitely. It's a bit of both really. Like, you don't know if your tyres are just going to go off a cliff or whatnot, so you got to be vigilant to see whether they're going to come and have a dive at you or not. I know Richard was closing in on me in the middle stage of the race, and seemed like he was trying to push a bit towards the end and kind of drifted back a bit. So yeah, just kind of keep it under control, don't overdrive the car, and you should be right.
And with the SimWorks sponsorship on board, mate, that's obviously a coup for you guys. Congratulations for that. But the team, to be honest, we see yourself out there, but how's the rest of the team going?
Not so great. Few
I wasn't going to say
V8
that.
Drivers, yeah, a few V8 drivers have stopped doing it currently. We still do the odd endurance race, like the 24 hours of Spa. Yesterday, I had to jump in here and gain a whole lot of safety rating back that I lost last night.
Yeah, the Spa 24 was, I was Hugo and myself were covering that for RaceSpot, and lots of dramas there in the main split, and it was a long race, and there was a lot of bent. What were you in the BMW? I think the car 351. Would that be right in saying that?
Yep, that's the car that was pretty banged up. I got it handed to me very second hand. Did the best job I could.
I was going to say, did it still look like a BMW at the end of the race?
It was more like a Kia for all you hairdressers out there. Don't be insulted by that, but it was the short wheelbase version of a BMW, got no doubt about that. But mate, Monza next week, is there an expectation that we might see more on the Monday nights? We've got 5 rounds to go in the official series on Monday nights. What's the chance of seeing more of yourself in the ANZ car?
Probably not next week, because I think we have a Premier Series round, so all my focus will be on that. Just looking at the schedule now, not really a big fan of Laguna Seca. Maybe the last 3 tracks, they're really good. I like them. So depending on time-wise with work and everything like that, I could maybe pop in. Maybe Bathurst, I might make it a priority, because that's you have to race Bathurst.
Got to race Bathurst. There's no doubt about
Australian
that.
not to.
Yes, it is. But well, mate, congratulations tonight. Is there anybody you want to give a shout out to at all?
No shout outs tonight.
Okay,
I'll give yourself a shout out, Jared, because it was a good drive, mate, and I think lots of people were wondering what would happen if you came over here and raced against Ethan and some of these guys. So yeah, good job, buddy.
Cheers, mate.
Yeah, but don't forget, a lot of people are wondering what would happen if Ethan went over there as well. So it's a two-way street, and hopefully as the endurance series starts kicking off at, where are we off to for the first one? I think it's actually Spa, and then Sebring, and then Bathurst. And there's also the, as I said, the SDRT endurance series as well. So it might be a bit of middle ground reach there at all. But Jared Fieldsell, winner of tonight's race, congratulations to him for round 7 action at Oran Park Racing. So joins a long list of winners here at this famous track. And Hugo, I reckon that might just do it for us. So Sammy, good job again by the boys, and a clean race. And Jared Fieldsell, congratulations to him for starting off first race, first win, and no doubt hopefully we'll see more of him and the others as we go on to round 8 next week at Monza, the official V8 Supercar Racing 2, brought to you by Demonov Innovations and RaceSpotTV. I'm Brenton O'Brien, that's Sam Compton. We'll see you next week.